Recording. And welcome back to another edition of Thompson's Comic Corner. I'm your host, the wonderful Zach Thompson. And as always, who has became like the like number one co-host on this show. It's between you and Chad. Um, I've got George, the wonderful George from Shortbox Summary.
Hi.
It,
Sorry I
it,
bullied you into doing an entire event.
oh, brother, I mean, what else am I going to be doing with my life?
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I
You,
mean, today's
you,
comic books kind of blow. So,
oh no, I
well,
read some.
not DC's.
There's some pretty good reviews for books out there I saw.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's an awesome writer that is on this show right now that does some really good reviews. All
Yeah, he sounds handsome. I agree. It's
right,
me.
George.
It's me.
So
I'm
you
average looking
you
at best. Thank you.
you talked me into doing this. So tell everybody what we're reading today.
Today we are reading the Rann-Thanagar War. It was part of the Countdown to Infinite Crisis series of mini series that were supposed to set the stage for main event Infinite Crisis. And this one focused on the cosmic side of things. And it's basically a war that breaks out between the planets of Rann and Thanagar, and so many other planets in the galaxy have sort of fallen in line with one or the other. And it turns out that this war started because a hyper religious group of zealots took over the Thanagarian government, and they're trying to bring back their god, who is named Onamar Sin, the Soul Eater. And so they're manufacturing this war with Rand to create enough fear and souls to feed him so he becomes strong enough to take over the galaxy and spread his religion of the seven hells to every corner of life.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Promise that.
Did I do good? I blacked out for a second there.
Oh, that was perfect. I mean, you gave us like the perfect, like, I mean, that's perfect summary, of like the
Sick.
background story for this because so going in it for me, I had no idea what the hell I was getting into because I don't really read like the cosmic, like I know, Green Lantern, obviously, and which he is in here. It's Kyle Rayner. It's not Hal Jordan. You do get Kilowog, which is fun. And then you have Hawkman and then Hawk Woman. Is that what she is?
Yeah,
Hawk
it's really
Woman.
confusing. There's
Yeah.
technically two Hawk women running around at this point. There's Shira Hall, who's from Thanagar, is I I guess Hawk Woman, we'll call her. I think she's Hawk Woman. The other one is this woman named Kendra Saunders, who is from Earth and is like the reincarnated spirit of a Thanagarian, and she is the niece of the Golden Age Hawk Girl or Hawk Woman, whatever it was back then. I'm actually reviewing JSA. I should know which one it is. But it's very confusing. Like I think that all stemmed from I want to say Zero Hour, where like they tried to make sense of like the Hawk continuity, which was a just huge fucking mess, just a big old puddle of ugly. And it was very confusing. And they're like, do we want this to be science fiction? Do we want this to be more mythical? What do we want it? And they just tried to have their cake and eat it too, and made it so that there were multiple characters. And then Kendra Saunders came back in or debuted in '99 with that JSA book by David Goyer, James Robinson, and eventually Jeff Johns. And yeah, just the ugly side of comics is when it gets really confusing.
Yeah, so we have oh shit. Oh, we also got Adam Strange, which now for a lot of people, I'm sure like if you're like me, you got introduced to Adam Strange through Tom King, which that was Adventures,
Yeah,
which I bought one of those books in a mystery pack one time, read it just completely out of the blue. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I think it was like issue 8 and absolutely loved it. And then went back and read issues 1 and 2, and then may or may not have forgot about it. But
sure. Yeah.
the 3 issues that I read is really fun. He's an interesting character.
He is, and he had a mini series just before this that was written by Andy Diggle and drawn by Pasquale Ferry, and I want to say it was called like Adam Strange Planet Heist. And so that sets the stage. Like the first 3 pages of this book are just pure exposition to sort of like catch you up. And I
Yes.
actually thought it did a really good job of catching you up to the point where I'm like, it's easier to read these 3 pages than 7 other issues that tell like a pretty exciting story, but not a very like important story. Like this is the important story. And so that's why I didn't make us read that. But that is if you like Adam Strange, that is like a more traditional Adam Strange adventuring across the galaxy story and not like a big Tom King, Mitch Gerard's mind fuck of a story.
I listen, a lot of people don't like Tom King, and then a lot of people love him. I'm in the middle. I think that he does some really good stories, but that's another tale for another day because we could get a whole episode, probably six
I,
episodes.
I'm torn, man. Especially like our friends over at Last Comic Shop podcast, they fucking love Tom King. I think Tom King on ongoings is like borderline undefeated. I think Tom King's miniseries, I just can't even pretend to give a shit about those.
Hey, I liked his Vision miniseries. I really did.
Yeah, that is probably the better one.
All right, so we're the book that we are reading is written by Dave Gibbons. The penciler is Ivan Reese. The inker is, hold on, I gotta put the iPad up closer to the eyeballs. Mark Campos, and then your colorist is John. Oh God, Kaliz. Oh, it's an S and a Z together. That's rough. And then yeah, we'll just go with that. That's perfect because the other guy's got a really weird name too. So Napolitano. Yeah, that's the letterer. So sorry if I butchered those names wrong. I'm an illiterate guy from the state of Ohio.
That's why we like them picture books. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't read the chapter books. So when you start out the first book, it's the chapters, the fires of war, and it's laying down all the like you said, everything that's going on. We find, our heroes are battling what looks to be like a phoenix,
Yeah.
which I mean, that's badass. Like the very first page, it's beautiful. I do like the colors in this book. The art sometimes is all right. The splash pages are really nice,
Oh my God. The
but
fuck out of here. It's Ivan Race, man. Like it's the guy who did Sinestro Corps War. Like this is I think the art is why I like this book so much. I thought it was fucking sick when I first read it. And like revisiting it now, like it is good. He definitely gets better as he goes on. But when I was 14 when this book was coming out, 15 when this book was coming out, I was like, is this just like the best comic art will ever look?
issue 6 is nasty. I will give it that. Issue 6, I mean, we could have just skipped 1 through 5. I mean, granted, we wouldn't know what the hell's going on in the story, but issue 6
Right?
art wise is beautiful. Not gonna lie. But like these first couple issues, it took me a while to get used to the style. The spaceships drive me nuts. I don't like his spaceships. That's
Okay.
probably one of my biggest, like, I know that sounds weird, but I,
No,
I
it's
don't know.
I love specific nitpicks, so I'm okay with it. I don't agree, but I'm like, oh, that's really interesting that that's where you draw the
Well,
line.
and well, like if you look at his faces, like for all the characters, because again, I'm DC Infinite. We're not sponsored, but hey, if you want to, um, his faces remind me of like the '90s, early 2000s. Granted, this came out in 2006, correct?
Yeah.
So like he has like that '90s DC, I call it the Superman style.
Mhm.
All of his faces, all of his bodies, they're all built like that. And that's fine. I think it's just the backgrounds that I'm not a big fan, like the backgrounds of like the space and shit. I think that's the problem I have with it.
I misspoke. It was 2005. Sorry, it's between May and October 2005, but close enough. Who cares?
Yeah, so I mean, we find out in the first issue, you find out I'm really bad with these names. Uh the one Hawk lady is like an undercover, correct? That's when I'm
Yeah, that's Shira. Yeah,
yeah, and you find out that they know that she's undercover and then she gets arrested.
right.
And then the planet, oh Jesus God, I had all this
Th
in notes.
Thanagar.
Yeah, Thanagar goes to hell and like it's just being. blown to hell, and then you go to Ran and it's being blown to hell. And then we cut to the Green Lanterns just staring at the stars, which I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so I guess Rand has this technology called the Zeta Beam, and with the Zeta Beam, you can transport mass almost like instantaneously across huge distances, like light years of distances. And so that was like the thing with Adam Strange for a while that like he was, I think his first series is called Adam Strange, Man of Two Worlds. And like he was accidentally beamed to Rand back in the Silver Age, and then like would go to a place where like war had been kind of forgotten and these people were like weak and didn't know how to protect themselves, and then he would show up and protect them for them basically. And then he, the Sardath is like the leader of the Ranians, and then he had this hot daughter named Alana, and Adam ended up marrying the hot daughter Alana. They had a kid named Aaliyah, all this stuff. And so Adam Strange became basically like Han Solo, um, but like mercenary Han Solo to like protect his family and his new adopted home, right?
And he's got a way more badass pistol.
It's
Just saying.
fucking sick. Yeah, it's made out of like hard light or whatever. And in the previous Adam Strange series, the Planet Heist one that came out just before this, Rann was missing. And so he went looking for Rann. It turns out Rann used Zeta beams to like hide itself from an enemy or whatever. And then when it seemed like things were about to go great, um, they like moved it back. They moved the entire planet back, and then Thanagar got taken and then like put into like a decaying orbit around a sun. And because only Zeta beam technology can do that, everyone on Thanagar thought that was like an attack from Rann on Thanagar.
All right, so that explains why they don't like each other.
They fucking hate each other, yeah.
Yeah, and then now that you have politics of people fucking fixing it even more, now they hate each other even more.
Big time, yeah.
So when we get into issue two has a really fun cover. I really like that. It's pretty neat. We get introduced, so Starman makes an appearance. Now I've known of Starman, did not know a damn thing. Like I recognized his costume. I mean, it's pretty
Uh-huh.
iconic. And I thought that it was pretty cool that he's in. Now I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
The cat guy, the Rob Liefeld cat guy, because that's what he looks like to me. I'm being dead serious. First thing I thought was like, man, that's a Rob Liefeld character.
Okay.
Is his name Tigger?
Either that or like Tygor. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm like, man, like tell me it's Tig Gore. Like you have the two R's. I'm like, I love it. That's awesome.
Right.
But I mean, we could be wrong. It is what it is. But he's an Omega Man, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I know nothing about them except Lobo is in Omega Man 3. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
Um, Yeah, goddamn. I recently read the Starman book from James Robinson and Tony Harris and other artists who did fill-ins, and I think the different guy ended the series. Just so I could like understand who that Starman was in this book. I gotta be honest, man, even reading that book, still not 100% clear on what his deal is. So that's Prince Gavin, who's the Starman of Throne World, which is the capital of like a small galactic empire. And like I think it was based off like either a 50s or a 60s version of Starman that they tried to reboot from the Golden Age that just like didn't stick. And then James Robinson used that as like part of the Starman mythos in his run from 94 to 2001 or whatever that book ran. And god damn, it's just a fucking mess. A very enjoyable mess, but it's so confusing.
I can completely understand it because, and I mean, he just makes like a brief cameo in this. Like he's
Oh yeah,
really, I think the only reason he's in here is so um Tygor, we'll call him Tygor. That sounds better.
sure.
But the Winnie the Pooh in me wanted it to be the other way. Um, it really, I think the only reason he's in here is so he can transport, which he uses the same machine that everybody's trying to get their hands on, but it's like an older version of it. But then he blows it up, so
Yeah.
which I mean, I get it. Which that comes to play in issue 6. By the way, if you read this, that comes to play. I'm not going to ruin it, but that's a big how do I put this? It's a big issue in issue 6 at the very beginning.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Try not to, I feel like we spoil a lot of things. Now, granted, this came out like 20 years ago, so if you ain't read it now, you're probably not going to read it. You know, I get it. But
No, I don't know about that. I feel like just talking about the book makes people curious. The amount of times I listen to a podcast and they talk about a book and then I just peruse eBay looking for it. No, I get it.
no, so then we get Queen Commander. I call her Commander because
Is
we're just going to go with it.
okay, sure.
Yeah. Or,
That's not her name, but sure, let's go with it.
all right. Well, what's her name? You tell me.
Coriander.
Coriander. All right. Well, yeah. All right. That looks better. All right. I appreciate you. You
Yeah,
helped me
I
out a
got you.
lot.
That's
So that's Starfire's sister. You told me this before we got on here, so I didn't look like an idiot going, why'd they rip her off? But
right. No, she is
we'll
a
still,
Tamaranian, yeah.
yeah, she's a snake, is what she is. She is a 100 bona fide slithery snake. She's a cheat. Which in issue 2, she meets up with the bad people anyways. The guy for the Seven Hells. She meets up with these people anyways, and then everything goes to hell as it always does, which the spread in this like the fight scene in issue 2 is really fun. Just saying. And then we cut back. So the only pet peeve I really have, besides the spaceships look goofy, the only pet peeve I have is too many things. Like we have too many things going on, and then we panel to something else, which I get it is comic books. I understand that this is like a 6 issue event, but to be honest with you, I don't give a shit about Kyle Rayner in this book.
Okay.
Like I don't. Like we could do without his part in this. Like we could do anything out without the Green Lanterns in this. I feel like they were just thrown in here because it's cosmic characters.
All right. Um, yes and no from my perspective here. Yes, they were thrown because they were cosmic characters too. Hal Jordan literally just came back from the dead. And like the Green Lantern Corps had like just reformed. Like Oa had just been restored. The Green Lantern power battery and all that bullshit just sort of came back from the dead. Um, so I think that's why like really I think it was just an excuse to have Kilowog in the book just because people fucking love Kilowog. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember reading that Green Lantern. The when Hal Jordan goes crazy, kills everybody, and then Rebirth. They're both really good. We might have to read those at some point in life.
sure.
The audience needs it. The third issue, we get a lot of talking and a lot of talking, and that spaceship's cool. I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah. The all right. So the guy who's running the planet, like the Rann, um, and he's talking to who are these people he's talking to? Like the goofy aliens.
With the giant fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the Dominators. I don't know why you would trust a group named the Dominators. That feels like
Or people that look like that. I'm sorry, but like they're scary.
no, that's prejudice. I don't. That's not great. They did have this book called Invasion in like 87, 88, and that was like a big DC event. Now, I haven't read that book because every time I tried to, I fall asleep. But I know that that was like a big deal. It was like a 3 issue miniseries that just had so many tie-ins across the DC universe. But they're just a big known alien species around this time.
All right, well, yeah, because I was like, man, like those people, they just look scary. Like they look like they're gonna cheat you and eat you.
Sure, yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I've seen Men in Black, brother. I don't ask questions first.
All right.
Yeah, all in all, it's fun. It's a fun cosmic adventure. I mean, I like it. The guy that tags along, so Legion. We got to discuss Legion for a minute. I know nothing about Legion, so like, there's a lot that I don't know. All right, I know some, but I don't know a lot. I don't know Legion. They're I know of them, but like I don't know who they are. I don't know who the guy is that's tagging along with. Kyle Rayner. I've never seen him before. Captain
Uh,
Comet.
Captain Comet, yeah.
Yeah, so like
He's
I know
actually
this.
he's made some recent appearances in Action Comics written by Mark Waid.
Well, he seems like a pretty unique hero. Like I feel like he'd be pretty entertaining. Like give him a chance.
He is very Silver Age.
Which I'm cool with, man. I love me a
Sure,
good Silver Age. Like,
sure.
well, some characters. I like the new Peacemaker over the old school Peacemaker.
Yeah.
I really like the villain too. He's fun. Sin. I like his
Yeah,
design.
he's
His
he's super
design is
cool.
fun. I like how he can like pretty much take over anything. Like he dives under the ground, comes up, and he's ginormous. But the only thing I don't understand, so when he's fighting and he makes his, I think it's issue 3, they're fighting and he makes like his getaway. Why did they dump out all the bodies that he was supposed to be snacking on?
I think because they knew that Green Lanterns would want to save people rather than pursue bad guys.
Okay, all right. Because I was thinking in my head, like I'm reading it, and I'm like, why would they do that? Like now he's just
Sure.
going to eat the people that are on the ship.
Right.
Because for if you have never read this, he sucks their it's their like their souls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes their souls, and that's how he gets their power. I mean, it's actually kind of cool, and I mean the art for it is actually it's pretty badass. He makes the people shrivel up, and they look like the thing off SpongeBob that wanted chocolate or couldn't hear it. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
So yeah, all in all, so our heroes they try to get the one guy out of prison. They break in and then they get double crossed. Everything
Right.
goes to hell. We're trying to I'm trying to make it broad, so go read this. It's not bad. It's really not. Um, and then you have your final boss battle, which, like I said, I think issue 6 is probably the best of this. Just from
I think I'd agree with that. I do love issue one. Like just seeing the planet. I love this book because it's fucking Star Wars, you know? I just thought it was like so hardcore and like seeing something on that scale, I'm like, you're never gonna see a movie like this. It would cost too much money. So like the final battle was great in issue six, but like just seeing like the fall of Rann, I was just like, holy shit, this is huge. Like it was just so epic.
and now there is a death in this. One of the heroes does die. But again, I mean, it was nice that in the final battle nobody dies. And then it like leaves like the ending of this book is actually kind of wide open.
Mhm.
And like that this book for me actually felt like it was like the one of the more main tie-ins for Infinite Crisis. The last book we read, not so much for me.
Sure.
I was just like, whatever. Blue Beetle's or not Blue Beetle, Blue Devil's cool, which I did buy his first issue after we after we read that and reviewed it. I did buy it. So um
Hell yeah.
yeah, so what's our next story that we're going to be reading?
Next story is the last of the little countdown tie-ins, and that is Villains United.
And now who's in that? Who's our main players?
I like don't want to say because I'm afraid you'll get less excited about the book. It's
It can't be
it's
that bad.
all right. It's basically about like the secret society of super villains that we saw in Countdown to Infinite Crisis, like the one shot
All
Countdown to Infinite
right.
Crisis. This book is about the six people who turned down their invitation into the society. And
Hmm.
so the society basically puts out hits on all of them and they have to band together to fight the society.
I mean, that actually sounds pretty pleasant.
That was why I saved it for last for you, because I thought you would like Rann-Thanagar War less than that book
Oh, I liked it.
based on the others we've read.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked this one better than
Villains or
Vengeance Day.
Day of
Day of
Vengeance, yeah.
Vengeance. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it better. Now, I don't think anything Omega Project or fuck, OMAC Project. That was my favorite so far.
That
Definitely.
one's that one's really good, and that one focuses on like the key characters, right? Like that is very much a Superman story. That's very much a Wonder Woman story. It's very much a Batman story.
Ooh,
And so
now
that one
I
I think
do
is like the
have
strongest countdown.
I do have a question. So since
Yeah.
Checkmate shows up in this in the OMAC project and it's part of our story regardless, does that have anything to do with I was at my LCS a couple days ago and I saw a Checkmate #1 with a goofy guy that looked like a chess piece. Does that have anything to do with the Checkmate that we see in this book? It's got to be the same, right? It's even in the same font.
When you say goofy guy with a chess who looks like a chess piece,
Yeah, he looks like the horse.
is he like on top of a van about to beat the shit out
Yes.
of people? Okay,
Yes.
that was from the old series. That was from the 80s.
Okay, so like that has nothing to do with checkmate.
No, so the chick
Okay.
who was like half OMAC, half human being, Sasha Bordeaux, the one who got a little flirty with Batman in OMAC
Yeah.
Project, she is a much more important part of the Checkmate. That there's absolutely a Checkmate book that comes out after Infinite Crisis.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know, but it was the exact same font that they
Yeah.
use. So I was like, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't buy it then.
I mean, there's some good reading in them old books, but
All right.
I
I
haven't I
don't.
haven't read that, so I can't
All
speak to
right.
its quality.
Well, I know. So George won't admit this, but this man has like a small library. So like a legit small library. So I feel like he has every book.
I do not have that book. I will admit that. I don't have the 80s Checkmate book.
Yeah. I 100%. Hold on. But no, he really does have like a small library. So I if I ever have a comic book question, I just go to George and he should
I
have the answer.
have I have been reading comics for like 25 years and I've never thrown a book out. So I still got everything. Man, it was so much fun. We actually did like a late night shop talk on last comic podcast last Friday, and it was all we did was just remember stuff. Like that joke about how like two guys love nothing more than just sitting in a bar naming old ball players.
Yep.
It's like that, which I also love doing. That's like, oh man,
Oh,
you remember Sidney Rice?
brother, I have so much useless sports knowledge. It is unreal.
1,000%, but at least sports athletes are real people, and I'm just like, no, I remember this one panel in One More Day that like I think actually really makes sense of the whole event. It's like, it's a fake story about fake people. What the fuck do you care?
I mean, hey, you say they're fake people. I mean, Batman does have a Hollywood star. So I mean, everybody else I know that has a Hollywood star, they're real people. So there's a chance.
You got me there.
I didn't know that until the other day. I was scrolling through Facebook and saw that he had a Hollywood star, and I said, "Get the fuck out of here!" But that's a
That's
little
pretty,
nugget.
it's
See,
pretty
that's
good.
crazy. But yeah, so hell, I usually do the cover and blah blah blah. Fuck that. I'm gonna throw that out the window. We're just gonna do 5 stars from now on because that's too complicated. It's just
It's,
easier.
I
So
was confused the first time we did it.
yeah.
We didn't grade the other ones though. So do we want to keep
Oh
not grading this one, and then do we want to just compare all of them to each other? I thought that's what we talked about doing.
yeah. All right. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Sorry, my brain don't work half the time. So all right, we're not gonna give this a grade or anything. We're just gonna say fuck it, and we will talk about all 4 of them together. Which we're gonna do the last one the next time we record. So then we could do it. We could either do it with that, or we could do. Do you want to do when we do the event? You want to do it issue by issue? I feel like that'd be fun.
Sure, yeah. If you want to do it that way,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. We're making it up on the fly, people.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. Well, George, thank you again for coming onto the show.
Of course, Zach. Thanks so much for having me, man.
I appreciate it. I listen to your show. People should listen to your show. Go ahead and tell them about your show, even though they should know by now.
I appreciate you saying that. I might even release an episode this year. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking about it. I might just do it. I might just go ahead and do it.
I hope so. So, again, I want to thank you and thanks everybody for listening. And as always, you guys have a great day and peace out, Cub Scouts.